Right now I'm going to solve four math problems that deal with percents. The first question is, the front wheel of a tricycle is 155% as large as its rear wheels. Use 100 grids to show how the front wheel compares to the rear wheels. So, here's my paper. And for that, I'm going to draw out my 100 grids. I'm not going to draw the little lines inside, so I'm going to label 100. And then this one over here will be labeled as the 55. So together they make 155%. Down here, our real wheel will be 100% because it's smaller. And then, so that's just your 100%. Moving on. Second question, the cost of a downloaded game was $10.99. Added to this cost was a 10% before tax processing fee, 5% GST, and 7% PST. What is the total cost of the game? So once again, I have my paper, and first I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna do a decimal for this one, and for that I need to write down our $10.99. And from there, you multiply it by 1.10 to get $12.89. I used the one in front because this would be your whole, and then you need 10% of that. So there. And I'm not going to round this up yet because we still have the second part to do. So for the second part, you need the PST and the GST. So I'm going to add my 5 and my 7 together to get 12. And from there, I'm going to use the decimal again. This time I go with the 12. And I multiply that one by 1.12 for that. And I get 13.53968, and I'm going to round this one up because that would be a really small penny, to get $13.54. That would be the cost of your game with taxes and the processing fee. Moving on to our third question. The number of caribou in a particular herd was monitored over a 2-year period. The first year, the size of the herd was estimated at 30,000. The second year, the herd was estimated to be 90% of its original size. What was the approximate size of the herd in the second year? To do this one, I'm going to use a ratio table. And so I have my percent and my herd. The first year will be represented as 100%. With the 30,000. From there, I'm going to divide this by 10 to get 10%. And I must do the same thing on the other side. Divided by 10. And then to get 3,000. So now we have 10%. We have to bring that up to 90 on this side by multiplying it by 9 to get 90. And over here, we multiply it again by the same thing, because you multiply the same things on both sides in ratio tables, by 9 again, to get 27,000 caribou in the herd in the second year. For our fourth question, we are going to find out which is a better deal. A, 60% off of a pair of shoes, or B, 20% off of a pair of shoes, and then 40% reduction on the discount price. Use an example to show your thinking. So, my example is my shoes are going to cost $100. So on the money side, I put 100, and on the percent side, once again, 100. First, I don't want to figure out my 60% and then minus it from my 100. So I'm going to write out my 100%, and then I'm going to minus the 60% to get 40% as my paid. So from here, I only need to find the 40. On the percent side and the money side, I'm going to divide it by 10 to get 10 again. From there, I'm going to multiply it by 4 to get 40. So with option A, you'll be paying $40 for your new shoes. With option B, I am going to take, once again, my $100 shoes, and I am going to, once again, divide it by 10 to get 10. From there, I have to find 20, so I am going to multiply it by 2 to get to 20. And then once I have done that, over here on the side, I'm going to take my 100 and minus 20 to get 80. So that's your first half. That's just your 20% off. So my new 100% is now $80 because you are taking off your second half off of the already reduced price of $80. So from there, I'm once again going to divide both sides by 10 to get 10 on this side and 8 on this side. From there, I now want to multiply that by 4 to get 40% of my price. This side being 40, this side being 32. From there, I'm going to minus my $32 from my 80 to get $48. $48 on this one and $40 on this one makes option A a better deal.